All right, I'm finally getting around to doing that Japan kind of trip overview video that I said I was going to do, and that kind of took the back seat for a while because I knew it would probably be a little bit of work. I'm kind of reworking how I wanted to do that because I don't know. I just right now I think I'm just going to do it how I kind of just talk about my time there, kind of whatever pops to mind, kind of just my trip in general. I'll go over some video and some photos that I shot, and just kind of, I don't know, talk about it, I guess. I had a great time, of course. I made 2 other videos. I did a kind of game hunting video where I go to some of the stores and show off kind of the inside of some of these stores. And I made just a pickup video showing my pickups of what I got over there. But now I'll just kind of be talking about the trip. There's not going to be anything inherently game-related with this video. Some game stuff will be popped up from time to time, but I'm not, this is not a game related video. So, if you're looking for more of that, you're probably not going to get it here, but there will be game stuff, I'm sure. But yeah, I'll just kind of be talking about that. First, kind of how I got there, I guess. I tried to get there as cheap as possible. Airfare, of course, getting over there is pretty pricey. It can definitely get pretty pricey. So you want to kind of just look at the times where it's cheapest. I went late April, early May, left late April, came back early May. So you know how that works. But yeah, I what I ended up doing is because flying out of the West Coast is so much cheaper than flying out of Ohio for me. So what I did is I tried to get over to the West Coast as cheap as possible to then fly from there to Japan. So I found the cheapest airfare possible to get over to the airport that had the cheapest fare flying out of that airport to Japan, which happened to be Los Angeles. But I would check. When I checked, there's a lot that could be cheaper. I mean, I would check San Francisco, Seattle, maybe Portland. I mean, check any of the West Coast airports. Or West Coast kind of flying out of Google Flights is going to be your best friend with this. It was certainly mine. But yeah, I would check kind of flying from those West Coast, big city West Coast airports, seeing which one is the cheapest to get to Haneda Airport. That's the one you want to go to. If you can, try to fly to Haneda Airport because it's in Tokyo. The other airport, Narita Airport, is about an hour outside of Tokyo, I believe. It's out in the countryside. So if you want to try to fly to an airport, I would try to make it Haneda. Or at least if you're going to fly to Narita, make sure that you know what you're doing and how to get to where you need to go. Make sure to, know what you're doing with traveling. But yeah, I tried to make it as cheap as possible. So I took a Southwest airline. I mean, you could probably take a Spirit airline if you wanted to, but I don't, it's not worth it to me because I was going to have luggage coming back with all the games I bought. But I took a Southwest airline. That was the cheapest I could possibly get over to Los Angeles. And then from there, I took Delta to Tokyo. So it worked out really well. Everything went pretty smoothly. The flight to Tokyo was very, very, very long. I think going there, it was about 12 hours. And then we were stuck on the airplane before we, before we took off for 2 hours because something was wrong with the plane, which is always great to have something wrong with the plane when you're going on right before you're going on an overseas flight. So it was unfortunate. Also unfortunate that I cannot sleep on planes. So yeah, that was not the most pleasant flight. You got there, which leads us getting to there. We got there. I got there in it. I was supposed to get there maybe around 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock. So not too bad traffic-wise trying to get through the train stations to get to my hotel. But I ended up getting there right peak rush hour by the time everything happened. So it was a little bit of a headache trying to get to the airport or trying to get through the train stations with luggage. But yeah, I get to the airport, pick up a pocket Wi-Fi, which is something you definitely want to do, is get a pocket Wi-Fi. I got it from the brand Purupuru. Pocket Wi-Fi, definitely get one of those. You're going to need your phone for navigating for GPS and all that, and you can use, you get the pocket Wi-Fi. I think it was like I paid for the insurance just to make sure, because the last thing I want to do, because it was like $300 to replace it or something ridiculous, which if you, I'm showing the thing on screen, I'm sure. If you saw this thing, you would not think it should be this expensive to replace it. But yeah, it's just a little thing you keep in your pocket, and it gives you pretty good Wi-Fi actually, wherever you go. So you're going to want that, just because navigating without it would be a nightmare. I don't know how you would do it, because Google Maps is really great in the way that it tells you, how to get there, what train to take, what station to get off, what line to take, how to get off. I mean, I don't know if I'd be able to do it without it, honestly. I probably could try to figure it out, but it's a real lifesaver. So you're going to definitely want your phone. You're going to definitely want the pocket Wi-Fi, and it's pretty cheap daily if you don't get the insurance, which wasn't that much anyways. It was $20 or something, 2,000 yen. I think it's like, I don't know, $10-15 a day. So you're definitely going to want to do that. Just for the sheer convenience of it, because Wi-Fi, you're not going to find, you're not going to be able to try to get on Wi-Fi at every store you find, and do maps. The only place I could really think of you getting Wi-Fi is maybe a Starbucks or something, but that's going to be a pain to try to find a Starbucks, load up a map and everything. So just get a pocket Wi-Fi. It's pretty inexpensive, and it's going to be a real big help. But yeah, pick up the pocket Wi-Fi at the airport. Have a hard time finding that, but the pickup desk for that, because it was supposed to be brought to the gate we were at, once we landed, but since we landed 2 hours late, we had to go find it at the pickup desk. But can't be helped. So kind of moving on from that, yeah, get out of the airport. Have to take the like monorail to Hamamatsucho station, and then from there go to the Akihabara station, because I actually stayed in Akihabara. I know that's probably you're gonna probably think I'm a weeaboo for that, but it was actually one of the cheaper hotels to stay in, for me at least. It was not too bad. I stayed in an APA, which is a business hotel. It's pretty no frills. You're gonna get a pretty small room, a bed, a pretty small bathroom. Which is, you're going to get a small hotel room compared to the United States in general, in Japan, especially in Tokyo. But with an APA, you're getting a pretty small business hotel. It's no frills, but it was nice. It was clean. There's no problem with it at all. I would recommend staying in an APA hotel. Some people have a problem with it because the owner is kind of weird. It's a huge chain. They're opening up in America now, from what I can tell. But I know a lot of people have a problem with the owner. I guess he denies the rape of Nanking, which was a genocide the Japanese did on the Chinese in the early 1900s. Yeah, I don't think he should probably deny that. I'm not going to get into this, but that's a little odd. He also, apparently, some people have reported that in their hotel rooms they found how they have Bibles in the hotel rooms in the United States most of the time. People found him putting a weird manga about like his weird kind of cult and how he and his wife are really great, something like that. I don't know. I didn't see that in my hotel room. I would have kind of liked to actually, maybe poke a little fun at that, but I did not. So I don't know if that can be confirmed or not. But yeah, I thought the hotel was really nice. I'll probably have a picture up of it here. It was in a good location. It was pretty close to the train station in Akihabara. And Akihabara, I mean, if you're going to look, I obviously didn't only go to look for video game stuff, but if you're going and you're into that culture, I think it'd be a fun place to stay. It's not, it's not a crazy place or anything like that. And it's reasonably central to everything that you might want to go to. So I would give it a shot. And it was like $60 a night. It averaged, on the weekends it got more expensive. It, popped up over 100 at some points. But on average, it was about $60 a night. It was really cheap. So I would say go for that. But yeah. So in Japan, grab a Suica card, which this is another thing you're going to want to get. A Suica card is a little card that you load up with money, and then you pass it over the train terminal or the thing you walk through, and it says, oh, you just went to Akihabara station. You get off. You're going into Akihabara station. You get on the train. And then you get out wherever you are, and it charges you. So if you go to Shibuya Station, it'll charge you appropriately. It's really convenient. You don't have to take it out of your wallet. You just pass your wallet over the thing, and it counts it. It's really convenient. You're not gonna want to go and try to calculate a ticket and say, oh, I'm going to buy, a ticket to here, and that's just going to take more time than needed. I would load it up with maybe $50 and just, depends on how long you're there. If you're there for a week, I'd load it up for maybe $50, and just have fun. I did a lot of walking though, which it's pretty practical. But I would get my Google Fit app on my phone would tell me I had like 40,000 steps a day, which is insane to think. But did a lot of walking. But yeah, so we'll go into my first day there. Wake up. I'm all out of sorts with my sleep schedule now because of the time difference, and I didn't sleep probably for 30 hours straight. I didn't sleep because at the Los Angeles airport I got there and it had a huge layover overnight, and I didn't sleep through that at all. I didn't sleep on the plane, so I had probably not slept for like 30 hours. So I maybe wasn't doing the best there, but got up at like 6 a.m., 5:30, 6 a.m. over their time. And I'm like, nothing opens till 10. I don't know what to do. I took this picture of the outside of my hotel room. You can see it's at the sun setting. This is the view outside of my hotel room. You can see the sun's rising, I should say. And you got the Animate store out there for any anime fans. But yeah, obviously, I'm up. I might as well, start the day, I guess. So I actually ended up going up Ueno area. We ended up going over that way and just kind of taking a walk. Ueno is one district. I think it's north, but I think it's north, but I don't know exactly. It is a really interesting area up there. Take a nice walk. Find this cool park actually, and walk around this park. There's some nice shrines in there. Some cool stuff over that area. It's really nice. It was a really nice area. It's kind of interesting to me, at least, that you can find these parks in Tokyo, which is one of the busiest cities in the world, and it's just kind of still pretty calm, pretty peaceful there. Maybe it was there I was in the morning, but a lot of people doing their morning jogs and everything like that. It was just kind of interesting to be there. The walk over there was nice, and it was a cool time. I mean, I ended up going up to Ueno a few times, and it was I always just walked there because it's just a fun way to walk over there. And I thought it was a pretty cool area. I would say, check it out. I tried a Pocari Sweat there in that the infamous Pocari Sweat there because of that name. I tried one of those in that park, and it was it tastes like Gatorade, honestly. It has a lot of electrolytes in it. It tastes like Gatorade to me, but less sugary, less like, I don't know, diabetes-ish. And it was pretty cool. Cool, I guess, not the right word. It was pretty decent. I had it a couple more times. I really liked it a lot. It was really refreshing, especially because it was kind of hot. And it started getting hot, and I wore jeans on that day. So it was nice and refreshing. But moving on, after, coming back, I came back a different way, coming back to the hotel, and found this cool little area here. You can see this fish. This is just a cool area. There's two different paths you could go down, and I thought it was pretty interesting. There was a bunch of just people, street vendors selling food, selling, whatever. One that I, lament the fact that I could not get a picture of this was a seller selling like French fries. But the sign said long potato with a picture of French fries next to it. I couldn't get a picture of it because there was a bunch of people like standing right around it, and I didn't want to, take a picture of it because, either way it doesn't look good. It looks like I'm either, taking a picture of those people or making fun of their sign. So I could not take a picture of it, but long potato is certainly one of my favorite things I found on this trip. And there's some gems I'll get to later. But yeah, walking around Akihabara, you see a lot of Sega arcades, which is pretty cool. Sega has a huge arcade presence over there. I think they make more money off their arcades in like something like a month than they do on games the whole year, which I believe it. There's a lot of arcades there, and they're usually pretty packed. This was actually the building next to my hotel. It was a used DVD book type store. Maybe this cat's up to no good though. They sell something else. I would say that with judging by him kind of really intent looking at that screen with those tissues, they probably also sell really sad movies too, I would think. We'll go with that. But kind of moving in, Akihabara is a really cool area. I did a video kind of showing off the area, but there's some cool stuff there. If you're into Gundam, there is a Gundam cafe, which it was not open at the time of me being up because this was about, I would say, 7 a.m. at this point. But if you're into that, that's cool. Here's another thing. One thing I noticed, there's vending machines everywhere. That's another thing. I drank a fair amount of vending machine drinks on my time there. I spent probably more than I should have on vending machine drinks, but it was good fun. It was good, interesting, learning experience. I think the thing with vending machines is that you get these, you give them the bills for your money, because over there, I'll get back to this in a second, but you got to have cash on you. But you get the bills for the vending machines, or not the vending machines. You get the bills and you pay for something and you get the coins back. And there are 100 yen, which is about $1 equivalent, let's say, a little less. And they're 500 yen, which is about $5. Are coins. So you're kind of like, oh, these are coins. In America, you're like, oh, coins, that's a quarter. Who cares? So you're kind of feeding these coins into the thing. You're like, oh yeah, I don't care. Drinks are cheap anyway. I mean, here's a picture of a machine. They're about 100 yen, 120 yen. So they're cheap. I mean, it's nothing. You're not making yourself broke out of it, but it's funny. But what funny thing I found about this is that all of these vending machines, for some reason, have Tommy Lee Jones on them. Not all of them, but a lot of them have Tommy Lee Jones on them because he is the mascot of the Boss Coffee line of canned coffees. But some of the commercials for the Tommy Lee Jones, maybe I'll throw one in here. Boss commercials are pretty funny.
この惑星の子供たちと呼ばれる存在にはおはようございます超授業だりんやそう全身でぶつかっていかなくてはならないもしよかったら付き合って声が小さい
It's just a weird thing though, because you see Tommy Lee Jones like everywhere in Tokyo. He's like on every advertisement because of this deal he has, and it's just funny because Tommy Lee Jones, you think of him as an actor, but you don't see him in a whole lot of movies these days. But it's funny to just see him everywhere in Tokyo. It's good stuff. But I mean, you walk around and you see some shrines. You kind of just chilling out. It's pretty cool to kind of see them. Obviously, there's a religious aspect to it that I don't get. Not being from the country, not being into Buddhism or Shintoism or anything. There is a religious aspect that I don't really get. But it's cool just to see them. I think you can really appreciate just how cool they look, and just kind of the look of them and the architecture. But walking, I decided then to walk. It was about a 40-minute walk, but decided to walk up to, or I don't know the directional way of it. I think it was up because it was past Ueno, to Asakusa, which has the Sensoji Temple, which is really, really cool. I would definitely recommend going there. And I would recommend, if you can, if it's like, not too long of a walk, if you can do it, I would recommend walking everywhere you go. Just with, get your pocket Wi-Fi, get your Google Maps, and just walk everywhere you go. Because you get to see a lot of stuff and go through, different parts of the city that you might not usually go through. And it's cool to kind of see, like, oh, these are just normal people's houses or their apartments, kind of just living normally. It's kind of cool to see it. It's a part, you get out of the beaten path, you get out of the touristy sections. You're not going to get into any real rough neighborhoods. At least I certainly didn't. And crime, it really in Japan is pretty low. But yeah, I mean, I didn't really see any neighborhoods where I was never in a neighborhood where I felt unsafe or anything like that, or I felt like it was, not a good neighborhood by any means. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I would recommend walking everywhere you go. I think you get to see more than it just being on the inside of a train the whole time. It definitely takes longer, so I guess maybe if you're time constrained and want to see as much as possible, it might not be the option for you. But I would say go for it. But yeah, getting over to Asakusa, I went to Sensoji Temple. I kind of wish, now I've seen so many pictures of it at nighttime now after my trip. And it's so cool at nighttime. I kind of wish I would have gone at nighttime. They have all these lights and stuff. But seeing it during the day, it's really nice. Some really nice, gardens. It's a huge temple. I think it was built in like Originally, it was built in like 641 or something AD, which is insane to think. Obviously, it's had to have renovations at this point, but it's insane to think something this old is still there. But there's some cool pagodas and everything. They got some other little smaller shrines on the kind of premises on the grounds, and they're all really neat looking. They're all really cool looking. Here's a side view of the temple, and koi ponds and all that. This one's a little cool picture I took. This is just a little bridge over the koi pond. I thought it was really nice. I'm not a professional photographer. I was using my phone camera the whole time, but it's some nice pictures. Really cool grounds. And Asakusa in general was a pretty cool little area. I went to a Book Off, which is a used game media store. But watch my game video if you want to see more of that. But in general, it's a really cool area. I believe that's where most of the retired people in Tokyo live, or it's a large amount. I don't want to say most. I don't want to speak authoritatively on it if I don't know for sure. But I know it's a good amount of retired people in Tokyo do live there. And you did see a lot of older people there. But I went to my first Don Quixote there, which is a great store. But yeah, that's that for Asakusa. I'll move in now kind of to the time I spent when I went to Shibuya, which Shibuya is kind of like, I don't know, if you want to maybe liken it to Times Square, I guess would be your best bet. But here's some pictures I just took of Shibuya. This is the Hachiko statue, if you know the story of Hachiko, the dog who would meet his owner every day at the train station. And then one day his owner died, and he would still go to the train station every day. Kind of a heartwarming tale. But they have a statue there for him. And this is actually where I saw probably the most amount of, foreigner white people. And it was right here by this Hachiko statue. And there's cats sleeping on the Hachiko statue, if you can see him down by his legs. So it's kind of fun. I don't know. It's cool that they built a little statue for him. Because, he did meet his owner every day at the Shibuya station. You got everyone's seen, you've probably played, if you played Persona 5 or World End With You or, any game that takes place in Tokyo or Shibuya more, like, it has something in Shibuya. You've seen the Shibuya 109 or, whatever they call it in the game, because I don't think they can call it the 109. But you've seen that building. You've seen it with the red text on it. This was just a cool picture I took with these flowers. I walked around Shibuya for a while. Didn't take a whole lot of pictures there because it's just mostly a lot of shops and stores and everything. Once you get past that once you get off the train station, you get past that kind of iconic look at it, the scramble and everything, which we walked across the scramble midday. So a lot of people definitely just need to follow the crowd, follow the people who know what they're doing. That's for sure. But just headed over then towards Yoyogi Park, which is another park. Really lively place. A lot of people just kind of sitting around, enjoying themselves. There, people were playing like drums and stuff. There was this group of old guys, like probably in their late 50s, early 60s, dressed up like, I don't even know, like they were wearing leather jackets and sunglasses and were doing this like dance routine. I'm like, what is going on here? But I wish I would have got video of it. I thought I did, but I can't find it anywhere, which is unfortunate. Maybe if I look through my pictures again and find it, I will show it, but it was pretty incredible. But yeah, Yoyogi Park was a really interesting place. It was just, I don't know, a lot of people there. A lot of people just kind of sitting around, hanging out, a lot of young people. Another place that I would say, if you're in the area, if you're in the Shibuya area, it's worth a shot just to go there, look around. And I did go spend a day at Tokyo Disney Sea. I'm a big fan of the Disney parks. And, when going to Japan, I thought, I would like to go to one of the Disney parks there. And the choice is you can go to Tokyo Disneyland or you can go to Tokyo Disney Sea. Tokyo Disneyland is pretty much similar, almost the same to Magic Kingdom, has all the same stuff. But Tokyo Disney Sea is a, brand new original park just for Tokyo. Has some cool stuff in there. It's kind of like an Epcot. It's themed around different places around the world. And it was a pretty good park. I'll throw some pictures up, but it's not too important. They still have the Tower of Terror there. I know that people are outraged that it's gone, but they still have it there. So if you want to ride it again, maybe that's your chance. But I hate the Tower of Terror. It's a terrible ride. Yeah, they got like a gondola ride and stuff with a bunch of other people. The guy sitting there is singing in. There's a Japanese guy, cracking jokes in Japanese and singing in Japanese. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what you're saying, but I'm sitting there pretending, like laughing, smiling, like, oh yeah, that's great. Like he could have been making fun of me. He probably was. I'm a pretty easy target, but yeah. There's this terrifying Woody head, Woody from Toy Story, that you can go at his mouth. Didn't go on that one. There was a pretty cool Indiana Jones ride there, which looks like the Crystal Skull, that temple that he went to in that movie, but it's not based on the Crystal Skull. It's an old ride, so thank God it doesn't have anything to do with that terrible movie. But yeah, it's pretty cool. They got a train going around. They got a big volcano in the center. Here's a little town kind of that's supposed to look like a old-timey East Coast type town. But yeah, I would say check it out. If you're a big fan of the Disney parks, I would say you can't really go wrong. It's a good time. And if you have to choose between Disneyland or Disney Sea, I would personally say go with Disney Sea, especially if you've already been to, the Disney parks in the United States. There's a lot of overlap there, except now you don't understand what the characters are saying to you. Well, I guess maybe you do if you understand Japanese, but I don't think you're going to otherwise. But yeah, there's some cool little areas in the Disney Sea. Here's another one here. But yeah, something else, I didn't ever really come across rain while I was there. One night it started sprinkling a little bit. That's about it though. It didn't ever rain. I think, June, July is the rainy season over there. But when I went in April, May, it did not have any problems with rain. Here's a couple just like cool shots of Odaiba, the next place I went to. Odaiba is a kind of like seaside type area. It's by the Tokyo Bay, and it's like I'm pretty sure it was like a man-made island, which is pretty cool. It is, I don't know, it's a lot of malls, a lot of areas like that, a lot of interesting stuff there. There is the Fuji Television their building, which has a big dome at the top. And you can actually go up into that dome. Here's a picture. You can see the dome in the background. The building on the left, you can see that dome. You can go in there. You can kind of see a view of all of Tokyo, a 360-degree view, which is pretty cool. Got some pictures here of that I'll go through. There was a pretty cool free car museum there with a lot of cool cars, a lot of stuff that we didn't get in the United States. I know I'm talking to a game hunting crowd, but pretty cool stuff there. One of the cars, I forget which one, was like one of 6 or 7. The guy came over and told us, which is pretty neat. And it was free. I mean, you just walk around it, free of charge, which is cool. But yeah, Odaiba is definitely, that's a must go to, I think. Odaiba, you have to. I had the Power Squash, the infamous Power Squash drink there. Out of this Pokemon Pikachu vending machine, and I gotta say, it did not taste like squash. Although I don't really know what squash tastes like. It was the same as like a melon Fanta. There was a lot of like different melon Fanta, melon drinks. It tasted like that. I don't know why it's called Power Squash. This is the Fuji Television building a little bit more, I guess. They got a lot of mascots. This is their mascot, Rafu-kun. You can get your picture taken with him. But yeah, here's some shots of just the city from the dome I took. You're pretty high up there, but there's some pretty cool stuff up and about. So there's a fake Statue of Liberty. They have a Statue of Liberty there, which I'm not sure why, but I'm not going to argue with it, I guess. Pretty cool. I would definitely say go to Odaiba. It is lots of huge malls. I think like 3 or 4 huge malls that are like 8 floors tall, with lots of different stores. So, maybe beware. And here's some now I'm going to go into some shots from Shinjuku, which I was just there probably for a little bit. I didn't take a whole lot of pictures. I went to the Kabukicho, which is what the Yakuza city, Yakuza town that the games take place in is. A lot of cool stuff. I mean, you can definitely tell certain landmarks of the games are translated in, how they're translated from the real world. The Don Quixote is in the exact place, and I went there. So, I can say that I've been to the Yakuza Don Quixote. Yeah, I mean, there's some cool stuff. There's a big Godzilla. I don't know if I got a picture of that. There's a big Godzilla there on their movie theater. I don't think I got a picture of that. I'll have to look through my pictures better. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And I saw the Square Enix building, which has this little ball, like egg-shaped thing on the ground that is a gift shop that you can go to. But yeah, and I found this then at the out in Shinjuku. This is Dr. Fish Therapy, and the fish actually eat Old Horny to make your skin smooth. So if you want to get rid of the Old Horny to make your skin smooth, I would definitely try the Dr. Fish Therapy. Here's a picture of the Subaru headquarters over in Shinjuku. The Sony headquarters is actually there too, and I saw the Sony building on my ride into Tokyo from the airport, but I never saw it in real life, or I mean up close in real life, but I did see it. It is a very big building, as you can probably expect. But yeah, I mean, just some other little things, I guess, before I wrap the video up, because Shinjuku was my last full day there. Just some other things. I mean, it is certainly, cost prohibitive to go to Japan. But I would certainly say if you have the means to do so, I would definitely try to do it if you're even remotely interested. It is a really great time. I didn't have any problems with like language barrier stuff too much. And anytime I did, it was weird because, the people out there are extremely nice, like overly nice. And they would kind of get angry at themselves for not understanding. But for the most part, they kind of understood what you're getting at, what you're going for. Some people actually spoke fluent English and would talk to you, and it would be, all good. But, even the people who didn't speak fluent English, you could still do it. I mean, if you're ordering at a restaurant, you can... You point at the picture in the thing, if very worst, and I would say that's not really a problem. I mentioned earlier that cash, you got to make sure you have cash on you, and I didn't get really back to that, but I'll get back to that now. Yeah, you definitely want to have cash. I went to my bank and had a bunch of a set amount of money turned into yen just because it's cheaper to do it there, than at the airport where they try to, take a cut and everything. The bank does not. So if you're going, I would check to see if your bank does, currency exchange. But you got to have cash because, who knows if your credit card or your debit card are going to work. But also a lot of places just flat out don't take them. Don't do debit card or credit card or anything like that. They're cash only. So, apparently it's not uncommon for people to, Japanese people just to be walking around with like $500 in cash on them at all times. That's insane to me, but they're still a highly cash-based place. So I would definitely make sure you have enough cash on you at all times to pay for everything. I didn't even bring my debit card. I never used it, never cared to use it because I had cash on me at all times. Which is kind of weird because I don't usually carry cash here in the States, but I don't know. It definitely different. But it's fun to use their yen because, you get so used to the boring American money. It is kind of fun to use their money. Here's a little, maybe, I'm probably showing on screen a video I took of just what the money looks like over there. I actually got a bunch of the 2,000 yen notes, which are apparently kind of uncommon, kind of rare over there. I didn't know that, but I do remember that now. I didn't know that until I played. There's a Yakuza like side mission where the guy asks you to get a 2,000 yen note, and I saw that and in there I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, I use them just like normal. I didn't really care, but I don't know why I got a bunch of them in there. I guess they are given out pretty commonly if you do a currency exchange, but you don't really see them in the city too much. I don't know. But yeah, that's interesting. Definitely make sure you have cash on you. That's almost as important as the pocket Wi-Fi. But yeah, I would say, I know it's cost prohibitive, but I would give it a shot. I mean, try to save money, stay at an APA. It's cheap. It's clean. It's fine. I didn't get a picture of the room. It was small, but it was nice. It was fine. I mean, but I don't know why I didn't get a picture of the room. Here's a picture of the building, but no room. But yeah, I mean, save money that way. Save money by trying to fly there as cheap as possible. The food, once you get into the city, it's surprisingly not that expensive to go out and around. There's a lot of stuff you can just do for free, like sensoji, or if you want do something, it's usually pretty inexpensive. I think going up into the Fuji television building was like 500 yen or something. So surprisingly, another thing I noticed is that you're gonna be at the convenience store like every day, grabbing something in the morning to eat, or a lot of the time I get like that fried chicken. They have this really surprisingly good fried chicken at the Lawson's on my street. The Lawson's on the street is actually just Dragon Quest themed. I don't really know why, but it was just year-round Dragon Quest themed, which is cool. I wanted to they had a cool like Dragon Quest slime shirt there, but they didn't have it in my size because when buying clothes over there, you want to get it. Their size is a little different. So if you're American Westerner, you probably want to get it a size bigger than their sizes. So I was looking. They did not have an. I usually wear a large, so they did not have an extra large in that shirt, which was a shame. But oh well. They had surprisingly good fried chicken at this Lawson's, which. And a lot of people go there to get food because it's a pretty common thing. I mean, convenience stores are much different than what you would think of as a convenience store here. You usually think a convenience store is like tied to a gas station. I don't know. I would rather, I wouldn't trust, food from a gas station as far as I could, throw the gas station, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to eat fried chicken from a Sheetz or something. But no, you definitely can do that at in Tokyo. But I think that's all. Maybe I'll pop some stuff in at the end if I think of anything. But I think that's all I have to say. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and if you stuck to the end, I commend you. I dread to see how long this video is. I can really 38 minutes. Geez, I'll probably cut it down. But yeah, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'll put in the end slate. I'll put these. It's probably on screen now. I'll put the 2 Japan videos I already made there, so you can see those. And I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.